And one more video for your Wednesday afternoon. We've got our holds and our sells for fantasy this week. And the big guy on everyone's lips is actually Jermaine Hopgood. Poor fella's just copping it the last few weeks, especially with this low 37. And they've got the information there to see if there was any blow-ups around that one. Riles has lost the plot. Hopgood hooker. WTF. Yeah, I agree with that one. A 710k priced at 53. You're needing around 60 minutes from him for it to be a pretty easy hold. And we know that when he's at 60 minutes, it's a 55-point scoring effort. He's currently averaging 51, priced at 53, and it's definitely a bit frustrating. But if it goes back to what it was, like, following and leading in, I should say, to that round 3 clash, I was calling him a buy, and then following the 66, it stayed the same because tackle numbers were up high. Wasn't getting to run the footy too much, and we saw that 2 weeks ago with 53 run meters. The team's improving a bit, which is ideal, but the worry with him is going to be around this potential for him playing hooker. And with Teamless this week, it looks like it's in a pretty similar situation that he's going to find himself in, probably starting at hooker, and then Riley Smith will come on, and Hopgood came off in that time. So if that's the case going forward, then there's a chance that we see more in that 54-minute range. But I don't know how it's happening this way with Riles, but he is way too important. And there's a little bit of chat around that Lomax might be out, and you might have more information by this stage of the evening. But if Lomax is out, then Hopgood is by far and away their best player with Dylan Brown, and he needs to be on the park more. And I'll keep saying that, but he keeps staying around this mid-50s minutes since the higher minutes in round 1 and 2. It was like, we're going to try and keep him on there and get these wins. But they've actually had closer games in recent history. And even on the weekend, he came on with 30 minutes to go, and he was going to get, thinking about now, forget about that they had extra time. He was going to get 50 minutes in this game. So I think you can easily wait the 1 or 2 more weeks until their bye comes around and make your decision from there. But I do understand selling as well, especially when guys that are 50k cheaper in Toby Couchman are getting all the minutes, and the PPM's incredible right now. So Hopgood, I understand if he's a sell. I think he can easily be held as well. Kalyn Ponga, mentioned him in the potential buys video just because I think he has a pretty solid run coming up and chance of not making Origin as well. Like if Walsh pulls his finger out and starts playing a bit better, then he probably keeps that spot. But the way he's playing right now, I suggest that Walsh probably doesn't make the side, and Ponga could be the one. 56% owned in the top 5K, even lower in the top 100 at 36, and under 50% for the top 1,000. Ponga is one of those guys that can make or break your season if you've got him for a long stretch of time. We've seen here 29 and 25 his last 2, but the first 2 games before that was 62 and 82. Still hasn't scored a try yet. Kick meters are there. Run meters the last 2 weeks have not, and there's have been a fair few errors as well. So it is going to be a little bit up and down, it looks like, with these nights. But with the run coming up, it looks pretty solid, and he should be able to get involved in plenty. They do have a bunch of things to sort out, though. So I personally think he's a very easy hold in a position that's tough, and he's a top 3 guy in that spot very clearly now that Latrell is back as well. So I think you hold this week, and I'd be doing so, and I will be doing that in Supercoach. Adam Reynolds sounds like he's going to be fine generally, so people are selling him after the 33, but again, his lowest score in full game was 45, and he was on track to smash that on the weekend with the kick, the chip and chase for himself to score. He was sitting there very, very much easily on track to score another 50-odd points, and in a game that was really poor base stats-wise. So Reynolds, I think, is a pretty clear hold, and should be fine generally going forward, unless he is going to be missing time, which we know he can do. I think I'm sure I'm not talking out my butt here, but I'm pretty sure he's okay. Let me know if he's not, but yeah, the leg injury, but I think it was just some hamstring potential tightness, and he should be good to go in general, and it's not a long period of worry. But we know that Reynolds has injuries in his game, but I think overall he's fine. Humphreys, he's had a cracking start to the season. We know that. He's been incredible, and thanks to the Humphgoat for doing his good work. Surprisingly, wasn't owned by all of the top 5,000. So and the top 1,000. So congrats to everyone that was able to do that. 11 people in the top 1,000 didn't own him, and maybe that helped. They stuck out in that situation, but that one on the weekend actually helped him, or helped you guys can get into that top 5,000. But just sell him. It's been great. Enjoy it and move on. David Fifita I had to put in this section because I couldn't put him in the buy slot. The way he's started so far, it's getting better every week, right? But minutes have increased as well. And now that he's back to the bench, it's probably closer to these 50-odd minutes. And priced at 47, he probably scores somewhere near that 47. And until he starts, I think he just sits clearly in the hold and the not buy territory. John Bateman at 600k. He isn't owned by a lot, but I saw he's in the people selling list, which makes sense. He's gone 3 30s and 2 good scores in 57 and 61. So priced at 45, averaging 45, coming into a buy next week. I think if you're not selling this week, you probably are next week. And there's heaps of options in that same price bracket in Wong and these types of guys. Tom Gilbert at 565. If you didn't sell last week, this is another week you can do it. 43, 40, and 36 in the recent 3. And the worry is him on the edge. It's not his best position to accumulate points, even though he gets the bigger minutes. He just misses too many tackles and doesn't have the attacking flair on the edge where we know he can get up to that 59 tackles or 45 plus with less chance of misses in the middle. So Tom Gilbert could be sold this week if you like. If you want to hold and wait and see, that's fine as well. But he's not a top tier keeper. Unfortunately, as much as we thought he might push up into that, and I did after round 1, he was everywhere, the menace, but not to be. Someone I think can be held or can be sold is Alex Seyfarth this week at 545k. He's had a few low ones now, 29, 42, was fine, given he's priced at 41, but 30, and then 2 good scores, 56 and 60, with both those getting attacking stats and some good tackle breaks as well. The thing with Seyfarth at the moment is actually the missed tackles that's been a little bit frustrating. We saw him really when he goes like really big tackles, 51 and 6, that's when he can have decent misses. Other games, it's sort of that 0-1-2, and we've had regular missed tackles and meters gained we can't get over 100. So for him to have the highest tackle number of 43 in that first 5 games shows that he'll just be okay in general, and he probably sits around this, where his average is right now at 43.4. It's probably where he sits longer term. Not going to kill you if you don't own, not going to kill you if you own. So if you want to upgrade using him, then I understand that, but holding is fine too. Reece Walsh at 488k, he's getting cheap, but he's averaging 29.2, and I personally can't suggest anyone buy him. He had 31 on the weekend with 4 goals, and got really involved in that second half when Reynolds went down. 47 in round 1 with a try, a line break assist, 221 meters, and he gained, and he's just not seeing anything near that with 87 and 75 in his last 2 games. If he's anywhere near this 100 that we've seen 3 times out of 5 games now, it's just not a guy you want to get him invested in, because he's going to have errors. Yes, he might have try assists and stuff, and he had 1 good run last week for 3 tackle breaks, picking up 4 missed tackles. Like, there's just not a lot of things that are standing out for him as clear buy targets. Like, he doesn't have the big kick meters, doesn't have the big run meters, the tackle breaks, the offloads aren't there. He's had 2 this season. The errors are, and there's a bit of a worry. I personally can't select him as a buy, but some of you might, and there's a reason why pretty much all the top 5,000 don't own him right now. And shout out to my missus. She's had Walshy from the start. It's been tough sledding, but she's doing well. Metcalf, 485. Well, she's doing well. She's in Europe, right? So happy days. 485 for Metcalf there. If you held him last week, I think you can hold again, but it is Melbourne into Broncos, and that was kind of the reason for selling. But looping was a thing last week. I've read Whisperer just put out that last him and his partner Brody have had their first child, which is exciting. Actually grew up down the street of his partner, so pretty funny how that one works out. But congrats to those guys. And what he was saying was Garrick scored 4 tries after him and his partner had their first child. So does that mean Metcalf scoring 4 tries as well? And if you want to go by that logic against Melbourne, that would be very impressive. So hold or sell is fine there. Nawaqanitawase, he hasn't made the side after missing last week with the calf issue. The problem with this is that you give Billy Smith, who's a great player, an opportunity, and he can easily take it. And we're kind of seeing that here with Marky Boy at 18th man. But a terrific start for him across his season, across his career here in Game 5. But the problem here is that he's averaging well. He's priced at 31 with a lower break even. But if he's not in the side, then can you keep him? And when you've got lots of Roosters as well, it makes it a bit tough. So it's just a very rough timing for the injury, considering I had him as pretty close to a bye, even at 418, and now he's just not in the side. So either way is completely fine for you if you want to wait and see. Something could happen to one of the wingers, like he could come in for Dom Young, which has been whispers about. We've heard the whispers about Savala, and Townsend, leaving the side, and Dom Young's been in those rumours as well. So you could wait and see. Sandon Smith at 405k, he has 3 40s, a 32 and a 20. He's priced at 30. So he scored above that price 4 times out of 5, which is very impressive. Our tries are part of his base as well, is the question that we need to ask. But, run meters, his lowest is 97, which is great. It means he's going to get involved in some type of attacking stats regularly, and he's their goal kicker as well. Actually, I don't know if Savala is he a goal kicker as well. I haven't checked that one. But either way, here's a hold this week. He actually scored 44 with a try against the Broncos and could definitely do that again. They seem to definitely let a few points in. But a break even in the low 20s, averaging 38 with the half position being pretty tough. If I don't get another half this week, he could be a guy I play, depending on how things look. But 46 last week is in a good position to just continue holding in your side. And then the last two, Isaiah Iongi, didn't have him in the buy list. I think that some people are a bit scarred after selling him, considering he went 33 with his highest in the first 4 and then got 59 last week and looked great. I think he has another pretty solid week and then has the Tigers before their bye. And hopefully, for owners of him, you're in a good spot where you can continue holding on and getting some price rises, and he can then turn into, Keeney 2.0 would be absolutely great. But if you are interested in him as a buy, sure, but I think he's a very clear hold. And then Jack Cole, to finish this off, I think you just sell this week, guys. He's out, and when Cleary's in the team, he's not scoring well. So you can use him as a loop this week. I think they play game 1 or something like that again, so you could use the half loop if you like. But I think easily selling him to one of the guys I mentioned in the buys video is the best way to go about it. So go check out that video, guys. We've got plenty of helpers out while I'm over in Europe, and go check out their stuff. And I do appreciate you all watching and listening whilst I'm still over here putting in that work. So thanks, guys. Good luck with your trades, and we'll see you for some videos tomorrow.